Hello and welcome to part 3 of the Rediscovering Wellness series. This series is part of the Four Wing Balance Library, an initiative of the Four Wing Balance Steering Committee. Today's topic, we will dig into the reasons that we eat. Eating is essential to our survival, so we all have a hunger drive to ensure that we don't starve. When our stomachs are empty, they contract, which causes hunger pains and chemical messages to our brain as a signal to eat. When our blood glucose levels drop, the pancreas and liver also generate chemical signals that induce hunger. Besides hunger, there are several other reasons why people eat. The first is habit. If we have food that is always readily available, then there's no physical restriction present that limits when we can eat. However, most people have a routine of meal versus snack times, with many consuming 3 meals a day. When we feel that we should have 3 meals a day, we may be uncomfortable when we face a situation in which we cannot consume one of those meals. Social reasons are also linked to habit. We eat because other people are eating, and we use that time to interact with them. Think about going to a birthday party or retirement function. There's often cake, and you consume it because everyone else is in order to celebrate. You may spend time together at the snack table at a house party because that's where the conversation is at. Food also has a connection with pleasing others. We may enjoy preparing meals for others and eating them, or eating with them, or we may eat food prepared by others to show gratitude and appreciation. The sensory appeal of food can be quite strong. When food is prepared, it often brings with it tempting smells. Think of passing a barbecue or a restaurant. Generally, those smells cause mouths to water and an urge to consume whatever food lends itself to that delicious scent. It's not just the sense of smell, though. Pictures that look good enough to eat are all over cookbooks, food packets, and advertising mediums. The sound of food being prepared can also be tempting. In short, our senses of smell, sight, taste, and hearing can lead us to eat. The last part we talk about here is psychological reason behind eating. Eating is a pleasurable activity, so sometimes we eat certain foods for no other reason than it's our favorite. We can also eat because we're bored, lonely, depressed, upset. This is called emotional eating or comfort eating. This type of eating is often done in the form of snacks versus meals. Let's talk about the hunger hormone. So ghrelin is referred to as the hunger hormone. It's released into the blood when the stomach is empty and travels to the brain, where it acts on the hypothalamus to make you feel hungry. Levels of ghrelin in blood are high just before a meal and drop steeply after eating. Our next section here is going to talk about mindful eating. Being mindful of your eating habits means being aware of how you eat, why you eat, what you eat, when you eat, where you eat, and how much you eat. Canada's Food Guide recommends mindful eating under their healthy eating habits section. Being mindful when eating can help you make healthier choices more often, make positive changes to routine eating behaviors, be more conscious of the food you eat and your eating habits, create a sense of awareness around your everyday eating decisions, and reconnect to the eating experience by creating an awareness of your feelings, thoughts, emotions, and behaviors. So how can we be mindful of our eating habits? First, we want to create a healthy eating environment. Your eating environment will change based on where you live, learn, work, and play. Regardless of where your eating environment is, focus on changing your surroundings so that the healthy choice is the easy choice. Examples of this could be ensuring that healthy snacks are always on hand and easily accessible. Second, use your senses. Pay attention to the aromas, textures, flavors, and tastes of food. Using your senses, focus on what you like versus dislike when it comes to food. This can help you be more conscious of the food that you're eating. Lastly, we want to consider our eating habits. When you think about the last meal or snack that you had, consider the following. How did you eat? So did you eat slowly? Were you distracted? Did you eat with others or by yourself? Why did you eat? Was it because you were hungry, or was the food just offered to you and it was there? What did you eat? When did you eat? What time of day was it? How long had it been since the last time you ate? Where did you eat? So were you eating in a space that was meant for eating, such as a dining table, or were you in bed, in the car? And then lastly, how much did you eat? Let's talk about taking time to eat. We're often in a rush. It's common to eat quickly, eat while distracted or doing other things, such as watching TV or working, and not set aside the time to actually plan and eat meals. Part of mindful eating is taking the time to eat. When we take the time to eat, we enjoy our food, focus on our food, prevent overeating, enjoy eating with others, make healthier food choices, and are mindful of our eating habits and choices. When we eat quickly, we often don't realize when we're full, which can increase how much we consume. People may eat larger portions or lose track of what they've already eaten when they're distracted. First, eat slowly and thoughtfully so you can focus on your food. This can include noticing when you feel full, not rushing when eating out at a restaurant. You could try putting your knife and fork down between bites, eating with others and enjoying the conversation, slowing down and allowing yourself the time to enjoy your food, and chewing your food thoroughly. Second, eat without distractions. Electronic devices such as cell phones or tablets can distract from eating. Make mealtimes electronic-free. Sit down at the table instead of in front of a TV. At work, step away from your workstation. Third, actually set aside the time to eat. Plan to make eating an important part of your life rather than an annoying requirement. Set aside the time to focus on your meals and snacks at work, at home, and on the go. Okay, so let's talk about emotional eating. Emotional eating is when you eat for reasons other than hunger. For example, you may eat because you're bored, or you're feeling sad, lonely, depressed, or upset. You may use food as a reward for getting through your day or accomplishing a task. You may ignore your body's natural hunger and fullness signals, leading you to eat more than you need or want. Let's compare emotional hunger to true hunger. So we're looking at physical hunger. It develops slowly over time, where emotional hunger generally comes about suddenly or abruptly. Physical hunger means a desire for a variety of food groups, where emotional hunger, we generally only crave certain types of foods. With physical hunger, we feel the sensation of fullness and use it as a cue to stop eating. When we're eating emotionally, we may binge on food and not feel that sensation of fullness. With physical hunger, there shouldn't be any negative feelings about eating. With emotional hunger, some people may feel guilt or shame about eating. Let's look at the cycle of emotional eating. Our reasons for eating can come from our environment, our health, our hunger, or our emotions. These cues are triggers and can create an eating behavior response. Once we've eaten, we experience either positive or negative consequences. Automatic emotional eating can lead to more emotional eating because we're upset about what we ate. Let's dive a bit further into the cues for eating. We've already discussed the physiological component of hunger. Hunger can be impacted by whether we eat regularly, so meals and snacks, and consume enough fiber. The food environment includes food marketing, such as product placement, commercials, etc. We'll cover food marketing in a later series session. The environment also includes increased portions, size of our dining implements, such as our dinner plate, having treats readily available on the counter at home or visible, having coworkers bring baked foods into our work or our social environment. Our physical and mental health can also impact our food choices. There's a relationship between our health and our eating patterns, sleep, energy, pain perception, stress levels, and ability to be active. Poor health can increase risk for diabetes, injuries causing acute or chronic pain, depression, anxiety, and/or sleep disturbances. Emotions that cause problematic eating can be related to certain stressors, feelings of inadequacy, being hurt, feeling overwhelmed, or being irritated. Okay, let's talk about how to manage those triggers. First, managing hunger triggers. It's important to eat when we're actually hungry. To understand whether we're eating because of hunger or other reasons, start a food journal where you log what you eat, when you eat, and why you eat. By doing this, you can see if there were any emotions you were feeling in the moment that you ate. Follow a healthy eating pattern by eating plenty of vegetables and fruit, as well as including whole grains and protein foods. Include plant-based protein foods more often to decrease saturated fat intake. Getting enough nutrients is key as it will help you with satiety and overall health. Have healthy snacks throughout the day, such as plain air-popped popcorn, fresh fruit, or veggies. A hunger scale can be a really good way to understand your hunger and become more in tune with physiological sensations and internal cues. When you start feeling like you want to eat, write your hunger on a scale of 1 to 10. 1 is starving, and 10 is being so full you feel sick. A rating of 5 or 6 means you're comfortable. If you feel like eating, but your hunger level is a 6 or higher, check your emotions before eating. Managing food environment triggers. When it comes to managing your food environment, the first step is refreshing your pantry. That means going through your cupboards, fridge, and pantry and removing items that tend to be your go-tos when you're automatically eating because of their availability and potentially your feelings. We want to focus on removing high-fat, high-sodium, and/or sugar foods. It's also important not to go grocery shopping when we're bored or upset because we're more likely to walk out with unhealthy choices. To manage health triggers, it's important to practice good health. Manage your health by seeing a healthcare provider for an annual exam and having issues or concerns checked. Practice good sleep hygiene to achieve 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep per night. If interested in learning more about good sleep hygiene, check out our Sleep in You series. Be physically active by accumulating 150 minutes of moderate to vigorous intensity aerobic physical activity per week, plus at least 2 muscle strengthening sessions per week. Limit sedentary time to 8 hours or less, which includes no more than 3 hours of recreational screen time, and breaking up long periods of sitting as often as possible. Let's talk about managing emotional triggers. When faced with a stressor or other trigger, change your usual automatic response by taking a short relaxation break. Change what you're doing to better cope with emotions and stress. Instead of automatically reaching for food, take a stretching break or walk around the block. Sometimes a change in environment can make all the difference in our automatic behaviors. Try challenging your thought patterns, engaging in mindfulness, or journaling. To learn more about stress management, contact the 4-Wing Health Promotion Department. Seek support by calling a friend or family member or seeking professional support through mental health services or another appropriate resource. The last part is the steps to success. Determine your reasons for eating and triggers through food journaling, if this is appropriate for you. Decide on what you can do differently when faced with stressors and other triggers. If you're interested in learning more about nutrition, check out the remainder of our sessions in the Rediscovering Wellness series.